about coal mining or playing the stock market, alright? We're talking about some different kind of resource extraction here. For the longest time, it's always been that men went onto the world and gathered resources from the world, and women extract those resources from men. And it's still the case, but in the modern time, some pretty damn creative ways of doing it, like maybe rinsing or spermjacking, for example. So let's start with an example we're probably all familiar with, is the gold digging. Now, to be honest, I see that all women are engaging in some sort of gold digging, but the women we call gold diggers, they're just very, very good at what they do. Very good at resource extraction, and often shameless, willing to throw these facades like romance and love out the window to cash in their appearance and their sexual market value for the resources of a man, often an older man. A really good example of this would be Anna Nicole Smith, who married Howard J. Marshall, a billionaire, at the age of 26 when he was 89 and died 1 year later. Money do. They say this one is the oldest job in the world. It's prostitution, and there's nothing too tricky about it. It's pretty straight up. You're just exchanging sex for money, which is a resource. That's it. Well, some people do say that marriage is kind of a form of prostitution, especially if you look at the extreme examples like the gold digging I mentioned before, Anna Nicole Smith. Married a billionaire, cashing in. And, you know, there's trophy wives. That's a thing in our culture. We've got trophy wives. They're kind of prostitutes as well, you know. Those are more time-honored traditions of resource extraction. There's some modern stuff that it wasn't possible before without this legal framework that the state sets up. So you could take, for example, spermjacking. What is a spermjacker? Spermjacking basically involves deception around contraception. Let's say your girlfriend says she's on the pill and she's not. All of a sudden she's pregnant. You got spermjacked, okay? Let's say that you used a condom, put it in the bin, and then the lady sticks it in that other place where the sun don't shine. Oh, I'm pregnant. You just got spermjacked. That's a case of the YouTuber Jordan Chain. She spermjacked her boyfriend, didn't want a child. I got the baby fever. I got the feels over reels. That's what it is the feels over reels.
A bunch of my friends or people I knew at the time were getting pregnant, and I was getting like crazy baby fever.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god. And divorce, rape, okay? This is thanks to the loaded gun of no-fault divorce in modern times. No reason needed. You got the alimony, you got the divorce settlement, you got the child support, pay the lawyer's fees. It's the works, man. The whole shebang. Amber Heard and the Jack Sparrow nigga, Johnny Depp. Look no further, man. You're fucked. Some grey area when it comes to resource extraction and sex, like stripping. It's kind of sexy. Sometimes they have sex, sometimes they don't. There's a clear exchange of money. Escorts, kind of sexy. A lot of them do it, a lot of them don't. You look at Asia, like the noraebang, the karaoke. There's escort girls there, you know, they do stuff and you can have sex if you want and all that. Kind of a grey area there for escorts and strippers. So those are like the sexy methods of resource extraction, but there are some that are different. They don't involve sex so much. For example, rinsing. Rinsing is when girls offer company and conversation to men, and the men will give them dinners and gifts and money, but no sex involved. And I can only guess that these guys would like to have sex with the woman, but they just don't. Okay, they could just hire a prostitute, but I don't get it. I don't get it, to be honest. I'm going to get a bit more sophisticated here. We're going to talk about beta orbiters. This is commonly known as the friend zone. There's lots of different denominations here, but this doesn't necessarily involve money and power. It could be about social validation, for example, or attention. There's three beta orbiters I can see going on. There's the beta bucks, backup beta. The girl can't find a partner. You can be there. She can extract your utility resource. There's the emotional tampon, probably heard of that one, for girls fucking around the cock carousel. These tough guys, bad boys, don't really want to listen to their shit, so they'll find a beta guy, a beta orbiter, to listen to them. to eat their shit, you know? And she's extracting the resources of him, her emotional satiation. She needs another person to listen. That's a resource. And there's also bitch cuddlers. Again, these bad boys, they don't want to cuddle and be, oh, I want to have a cuddle. The intimacy as a resource. I think there's one more, attention whore. Okay, you heard of that one, attention whore. Internets are full of them. You got the ones in the online games. You know, oh my girl, look at me. Tinder sluts. Tinder sluts could be a big one. Social media attention whores, yes, because so much validation from men. That is a resource, okay? And all these bitches posting up on Instagram, you know, slutting up their titties on Tinder. That's providing them social validation from men, and they're extracting that resource through their role as attention whores. When you think about all of these things, all of these methods of resource extraction, sexual and non-sexual, you have to ask yourself, why are men engaging in these? And I think 95% of the time the answer is because they want to bang girls. I have defined resources very liberally, very broadly, as qualities that a man has which a woman can benefit from. See, all of those things, and many of them are problems, come from the inflamed sexual appetite of men. And so many guys think that we're these rational, logical creatures, we aren't emotional. Look at that fucking list of dumb shit that we're doing. We're not smart, we're idiots. Now, I'm certainly not going to buy into female hyper-agency and say, you know, it's everyone's fault except women. And certainly the state has a role to play in many of those things, like spermjacking or divorce rate. The fact is, man, you know, a lot of those things, it's because of men. It's because of men. Men are the victim of all of those things. But they're victims because of the choices they made. It is a choice that they made. And hopefully you watch this video. If you look at those things, if you don't want to be involved in those things, and you are, you have to say, you know, what choice am I going to make?